All praises. We're back. Yeah, this is a continuation of the video of who do you say that I am? That's Yahweh ben Yahweh. Who do you say Yahweh ben Yahweh is? Because the same topic was going on 1900 years ago in the Bible that is still going on today amongst our people concerning this one man who come and claim himself to be the Son of Yahweh, the proclaimed one, the one that's written down here in these scriptures. It's either we're able to prove this or we have to disprove this according to the events, because we always keep up with the events. As Hebrew Israelites, we keep up with events and trying to stay up on the day's topics and all these different things, but y'all ain't catching up on this topic. And where we left off was where he and Luke chapter 9 verse 22. No, let's start from verse 20. He said unto them, but whom say you that I am? That's a question. Peter answered and said, the Christ of God, who is, we translated that today as the Messiah, Yahweh ben Yahweh, the Son of Yahweh. Because this was a topic in his day and time. And he straitly charged them and commanded them to tell no man that thing. Hey, look, man, don't go around telling nobody that I'm the one. I'm the Messiah. Don't go around telling no one that I'm the Christ. This was out of his mouth 1900 years ago. So the one you have recorded here as Jesus or Yahshua, according to him, out of his own mouth, he said, don't go telling nobody that. I don't want nobody to know that. Let's go to verse 22. Verse 22 says, the Son of Man must. What must happen? See, this must happen. See, if this don't happen, then he can't parallel himself to what's actually going on here in the book. And I want to take my time with this lesson. I don't want to rush. I just want to take it nice and slow. And the reason is because that's what's been going on with the scriptures, brothers and sisters. We've been reading. We haven't been studying the Bible. Because this Bible is talking about somebody coming. It's known to the Christians as the second coming. When Christ returned, when he returned. Well, we discussing today some of the things that must happen to this one particular person when he comes. It must happen to him in order for him to be the one to identify himself with as being the Messiah or the anointed one. See? Or the Christ, because that's all Christ means, the anointed one. The one that's empowered by Yahweh, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's what all that means. HaMashiach. Mashiach is a Hebrew word for Messiah, which is the Greek term for it. So we get all bent out of shape when it comes to saying the word Christ and Messiah and what does it really mean. So, wait a minute, bear with me. Bear with me. So, go to the scripture, Luke chapter 9, verse 22. And when you get there, read. Saying, the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected of the elders and chief priests and scribes and the scribes Who else? And be slain and be raised the third day. Now you see what's going on in the scripture. So we're going to break a few of these things down, these criterias that this one will have to meet in order for him and his proclamation and declaration to be accountable or credible. Where these receipts at? You making the claim? Well, we're going to go study the facts of the claim and see if it line up with the claim. So we're going to be looking up this word reject. Reject. Remember, refreshing it up. And the word reject is to refuse. To refuse or refuse to accept. So the Son Yahweh, he's going to be somebody that they refuse to accept, especially his people, the Israelites, the people who he come to, the people who he was sent to, the people of the Bible, the people of the promises, the people of the inheritance, the people unto who the words, the statutes, and judgments, and commandments was given unto. He told Moses to speak unto the children of Israel. Brothers and sisters. So when he come, they're going to refuse to accept him. That's one of the, we're looking at the definition of rejected or reject. To refuse to accept, they're going to refuse to consider him. Y'all can go look these words up as I'm teaching. Because we looking up refuse. And nobody ain't going to consider to even pay him no attention. After all, this just another man who, we had plenty of messiahs. A lot of people came and claimed to be God or the Son of God. But not like this. Their receipts don't match up, brothers and sisters. It's a difference. To refuse to accept, consider, submit to. So, like I say, this is a recap from the last video, and we going forward. But the people will be in a state or in a position where they ain't going to want to submit to him. I ain't going to submit to that man. We over here doing our own thing. Why should I submit to that man? Why should I go help him build? Why should I believe his message? So he going to be somebody that nobody ain't going to want to submit to his teachings, to his message or declaration. To take or, it says, to refuse to accept, consider, submit to, take for some purpose or use. So y'all refuse to accept Yahweh ben Yahweh. So he can't, so you won't be used for the purpose of or for the use of the building the nation of Yahweh or the nation of Israel as one nation of people. That's how Yahweh ben Yahweh came. He came to get one nation of people. And that was the Hebrew Israelites. Because that they are the lost children of the tribes of Israel. They've been discontinued from the heritage. We lost our way. We lost our God. We lost our knowledge. We lost the law. We lost our positions in the earth. So he come to a people like us first. Not to exclude all the other nations. The other nations going to wake up and come to our light once he gather us all in one fold, brothers and sisters. See, right now, you have several. We waking up as Israelites. Don't get me wrong. We waking up. We waking up as a people. This information is going out in the four corners of the earth, just like how Yahweh ben Yahweh wrote it, taught it, and preached it. and left books from the 80s and 70s where you could go back and read these books where he said it first. And it's documented. Now, these camp leaders, and, not to disrespect my brothers out here, my other brothers of Israel, because, see, we all one family. That's like me talking about my other brother. Imagine that. You got a brother, but you talking about him all the time. So it make your whole family look bad. It make you as a person look bad because you talking about your brother. So when I see all of this type of stuff going on, it's like, whoa. The Messiah, he comes together us into one fold, one nation as we was, not into all these different type of things, camps and organizations. It's cool to branch off and have other leaderships, but we need to be one people. But see, they rejected Yahweh ben Yahweh, so that's another one, because he came together one people. He ain't come and say, hey, y'all, this is what y'all gonna do. Y'all gonna split up. You gonna go over here and do this. You gonna go over here and do that. You gonna teach this, and you gonna teach that. No. You go over here and teach the white man going to hell and being the devil. You go over there and teach that. See, Yahweh ben Yahweh, you know why he was rejected? Because, yes, he did say, he talked about the white devil, the black devil, the green devil, and the purple devil. It didn't matter about the color. It was the characteristics and the attitude. That's what makes a devil. See, your characteristics lined up with devilish characteristics, then you are of the devil. Your father the devil. But if your characteristics line up and the attributes line up to Yahweh and Yahweh ben Yahweh, then his word have a place in you. See, praise Yahweh. So back to the definition. So they don't want to. They refuse to accept. They refuse to consider. They will refuse to submit to Yahweh ben Yahweh. Verse 2. The second definition says to refuse to hear. The people will refuse to hear Yahweh ben Yahweh. They ain't gonna want to hear nothing about no Yahweh, but the only thing they're gonna have an appetite for is to hear the negative reporting that's done concerning Yahweh ben Yahweh. They'll go to the internet and read all the negative topics, all the negative headlines about Yahweh ben Yahweh, which is smothered. These headlines are smothered with a lot of his good works in there. But then after you read all his good works, and then you read about this man killed these many people and did all that, you don't want to hear nothing about all the buildings and the bus lines and the schools he built and what he was doing for the government, like not for the government, but what he was doing in the community, in the government, taking the people and raising them up. You see, they don't want to hear all that. They refuse to hear the good about Yahweh ben Yahweh. Just imagine your enemy. Do anybody have an enemy out there that have anything good to say about you? Brothers and sisters, do enemies have anything good to say about the people that they don't like or hate? Think about that. So that's how it is about Yahweh ben Yahweh. Y'all ain't gonna want to hear nothing. If you already got hate in your heart, you ain't gonna want to hear nothing about Yahweh ben Yahweh. Because you already hate him. You already got it made up in your mind. Remember, you refuse to hear. The definition say to refuse to hear. That's what it means to reject. I'm rejected. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear nothing about no Yahweh ben Yahweh. You talking about the man on the X-Files? Yeah, him. That's the one. Who do you say he is? Because I know what they saying on the TV. I know what the people saying out there in public about me. But who do you say that I am? Let's go back up there to the top. Luke chapter 9, verse 18. Read. And it came to pass, as he was praying, his disciples were with him. And he asked them, saying, Whom say the people that I am? Question. Hey, I want to know, can I ask y'all a question? Who do people out there say that I am? Out there in the public. Out and about. What they saying about me? They answered and said, John the Baptist. Some people think you John the Baptist. Some people think you Elijah. Some of the people out there think you like Elijah Muhammad. They say you was in the Nation of Islam. You just an offshoot. See how Elijah pop up in that? Some say you Elijah. And others say that one of the old prophets is risen. Some people out there saying you sound like one of the prophets out there. You got the spirit of all the prophets on you. You sound like some of all the prophets of old. You sound like Moses or somebody. He said unto them, okay, I know what the people out there saying about me, but it's time for me to ask y'all a question. I'm asking the listeners out there a question. Who do you say he is? He said, who do you say that I am? Because if it was a problem 1900 years ago, and we can compare today, in our day and lifetime, that if it's that same issue going on, and what, man, who is it? Who fit this right now? Because you can go try to get somebody else and try to get them to fit these scriptures. It ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. You can't do it. You can't get none of your leaders. You can't get none of the presidents. You can't get nobody in history in our lifetime to come fit what I'm talking about right now. And line it up with the scriptures and show proof and evidence of these things taking place. And if the person in our day and lifetime fulfilled them, meaning actually this actually happened to him, he actually was present and this thing did take place. I ain't gonna say took place to the very T. Cause remember, we're dealing with a thing 2,000 years later, but it's so accurate and close, on point and on time. It's like it'll blow your mind. It said, he said unto them, but whom say ye that I am? I want to know what y'all think. Who y'all think I am? Who do y'all think I am? See, I know who I am. I'm Shem Yahweh ben Yahweh, which is Samuel. Samuel is translated into Shem Yahweh ben Yahweh. Shem means name in Hebrew. We know Yahweh is God. So we talking about the name God, the name of God. Ben is son. Son of who? Yahweh. And I know who Yahweh ben Yahweh is. That's Yahweh's son. The son of man. Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. So let us continue on. Wait, give me a second. So you say, who do you say that I am? Peter answering and said, the Christ, the Son of Yahweh. And he straightly charged them, hey man, don't go around telling nobody that in verse 21. Because see, it's going to be some things that have to happen to the Son first. I'm going to show you some things that got to happen to him. He say, first, the Son of Man, the Son of Yahweh, must suffer many things. Y'all want to go hit the definition of suffer? Because that's what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to go through some type of suffering. Now, you know a man that gets sent to jail based on the allegations of someone else and be given some bad restrictions and treated evil and unjust while he was in this prison place. You know that's suffering. That's suffering right there. But he suffered. That's why they call him the suffering servant. Because he's going to have to go down for his people. That's right. See, this happened to him first. And I'm sure a lot of y'all other Hebrew out leaders, elders, because mainly you elders that's running most of these camps and organizations out there, y'all feeling a little heat too. But he had to imagine him first. This gonna happen to him first. The Son of Yahweh. He gonna be the one to have to be rejected of this government when he come teaching this knowledge on a country level. You see what I'm saying? Around the country. He going all around the country. Matter of fact, when they came to arrest him, he was on a 7-state tour going from state to state. I think they picked him up. Matter of fact, they got him when he was in Orlando. Not Orlando, but New Orleans, brothers and sisters. He was about to go and do a dissertation in New Orleans. Going around the country, gathering the sheep, just like in the book. He was going all around the villages in that area, in that region, back in his day and time. Well, this man, Yahweh ben Yahweh, was going all across the United States. Gathering the sheep, gathering the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Ain't no need of him to go wade over there to Africa or go to Russia to do this work. The work needed to be done here, where we are captives at, over here in the West, brothers and sisters. It said the Son of the Man will be as lightning flash from the east to the west. Well, we over here in the West. Y'all have a recording that he flashed over there 1900 years ago. Well, 1900 years later, over here in the US of A, this is where he at now. This is where the Son of Man, the Son of Yahweh, will come to the hells of North America, to Jerusalem. So they put it in the Bible in an allegorical form, in a metaphorical form, as an epithet, as a sign or a symbol, right before your very eyes. It said, in the midst of the 7 candlesticks. Well, in the midst of Jerusalem, one likened to the sun will come out of the midst of Jerusalem. Well, if you look in the middle of the word Jerusalem, you're going to see the word USA. That's right. You're going to see the word USA right in the middle of Jerusalem. Jerusalem. That's the real name. But because they're trying to hide it in a cryptic form, they translated it as Jerusalem, which means city of peace. Salam. And you're going to find USA right in the middle of Jerusalem. And that's where the children of Israel will be at in the US of A. The people of Jerusalem will be in the USA. So the word USA is in Jerusalem. In the word Jerusalem, right in the middle. Praise Yahweh. I just thought I'd share that with you, being that we was talking about this subject. It came up. So reject, as we see the definition of reject, we're going to get back to the word reject. Get back to the word reject. Hold up 1 second. The word reject. So we left off on refuse to hear. The next one is they refuse to receive. That's a heavy word that goes with reject, because the Bible say you got to receive him. He that receive you in my name shall receive me. He that receive me shall receive my Father. So the fact that you don't receive Yahweh ben Yahweh, who come of the stem of David, all the way down up into our see, he is of the root of David. He stemmed from David. And not only that, he come for Judah. That's his main message. He talking about, I'm coming for Judah. I'm the Lion of Judah. That's his main thing when he come, brothers and sisters. That's part of his declaration and trumpet call. That's part of one of the seals being loose. The fact that we are Judah. That's right. That's part of one of the seals being loose. There's nothing done in secret that won't be brought to the light. So y'all refuse to receive Yahweh ben Yahweh. And the Masons and Shriners know who Yahweh ben Yahweh is. Huh? Yes, they do. They know. The Brotherhood know. They've been studying about his coming the whole while. What you think? He the lion of the tribe of Judah. He the one that claimed and revealed. He was a whistleblower. He was the biggest whistleblower concerning Judas. He had it published and printed all in the papers. Matter of fact, it's in the encyclopedia that I showed you in the other video. Give me a second. Yeah, it's in the encyclopedias. So, receive. He knew that. They knew that you weren't going to receive. They knew that by the time they get done with printing and this tarnishing and assassinating Yahweh ben Yahweh's character, you weren't going to want to receive him. You're going to want to reject him. That's going to be somebody you don't really want to follow. This a man that killed all these people. He did this, he did that. I ain't going to follow nobody like that. See, that's what it means to be ashamed. If you ashamed of him, he going to be ashamed of you before Yahweh. You see how this go? So you never really had nobody that, this actually happening. So you could be ashamed to make a choice to be ashamed of them, but not. But now is the day for you to be able to make that choice. And you choosing to be ashamed to talk up for Yahweh ben Yahweh. You rather speak against him. So you rather not receive him, as the definition of reject say. That was one of the qualifications of the Son of Yahweh, that he wouldn't be received. It was written that he wouldn't be received, that he will be rejected, which means he would not be received or admit. To reject or is to admit, to refuse to hear it, to refuse to receive it. First, you don't want to hear it. Then you don't want to receive it or admit. It say or admit to. You don't want to admit to with what I'm telling you right now. Like I'm doing a study. I'm talking and expounding on it out of my head, but I'm going back to the book and definitions, and it's just lining right up with what y'all actually out there doing. I'm going to read it again. One of the definitions of reject is to refuse to hear. Remember, these one of the qualifications that's going to happen to the Son. They're going to refuse to hear. Hear what? His message. Number 2, they're going to refuse to receive what? His message. And number 3, they're going to refuse to admit. Y'all refuse to hear it, you refuse to receive it, and you don't want to admit to these true facts, brothers and sisters. That's right. He say he looking for some wise men, people who gonna study. 2 Timothy 2:15, study to show yourself approved. Y'all ain't studied to show yourself approved. You trying to approve for somebody else. You ain't even studying. You supposed to be approved for God, Yahweh. Hallelujah. What else we have? We're going to start right there because we got other definitions. But you kind of get the idea of one of the qualifications of the Son of Yahweh. When he come, he going to have to fit. Verse 22, he must suffer many things. He must suffer. First, he just got done being rejected. Let's go hit this word suffer. Let's hit this definition of suffer. Y'all got time? Thank you. Thank you. I got time too. By the way, how y'all doing out there? Y'all blessed? Yahweh blessing y'all out there? Praise Yahweh. Whether you going through it, you up or down, Yahweh still blessing you. Yahweh still love you. Yahweh still gonna provide for you. Hallelujah. Even though you might have to suffer something, like Yahweh ben Yahweh did. I've been suffering a lot. And the way I look right now, it don't look like nothing that I've been suffering through. Praise Yahweh. Only if you knew. Through much suffering and through much trials, so Yahweh bring forth his people. Now, trials and tribulations. Let me get the word suffer. I'm sorry. Remember, you said you got time, so let's spend time together. Suffer.